Look down at the Indonesian island of Flores. Beneath this dense canopy lies an emerald veil choked by tropical humidity and strict oceanic isolation. Right now, independent explorers are tearing through this unmapped terrain with military-grade thermal drones, streaming their search live to millions online. They are picking up strange anomalies in the deep forest. The internet is dissecting whether these fleeting heat signatures and murmuring audio clips represent native animal life or something entirely undocumented. For the last 30,000 years, Homo sapiens have supposedly been the only hominids walking the earth. We are treated as orphans sitting alone at the top of the evolutionary tree. Curious, this digital search directly challenges our supposedly solitary status on the human family tree. To understand why scientists are even entertaining this, we have to look at this cavernous limestone interior known as Liang Bua, the Cool Cave. In 2003, an Australian and Indonesian team meticulously scraped through these damp clay floors. Digging 20 feet down through volcanic ash, they struck bone. This skull is barely the size of a grapefruit, initially looking like a child's. But examine the heavy brow ridge and fully erupted wisdom teeth. This belongs to a fully grown adult female who stood roughly 3.5 feet tall. Researchers dubbed her Homo floresiensis. She was a highly capable hunter, which baffled biologists because her brain volume was roughly the same as a modern chimpanzee's. The existence of LB1 proved that a separate human species evolved, survived, and coexisted alongside the ancestors of modern humans. This island acts as a biological fortress. Millions of years ago, deep, treacherous ocean trenches entirely severed Flores from the Asian continent, permanently cutting off traditional migration routes. This animated diagram illustrates the island rule of evolutionary biology. When isolated environments have limited resources, large animals shrink to conserve energy, while small animals scale up to fill vacant ecological roles. Look at these fossils found in the same geological layers. They belong to variations of familiar animals, like the stegodon, a prehistoric elephant the size of a cow, and giant rodents the size of golden retrievers. Then there is the island's apex predator, the Komodo dragon. These miniature humans had to hunt and evade a 150-pound armored reptile with a mouth dripping with venom and septic bacteria. Threats also came from above. The sky was filled by the Leptopolis robustus, a predatory marabou stork standing over 6 feet tall, large enough to prey on small hominids. Yet in this hyper-carnivorous environment, these humans wielded razor-sharp flint blades. They roasted meat over fires and used synchronized agile hunting tactics to stay alive. They thrived where unadapted humans would have struggled. Homo floresiensis represents a specialized survival strategy that allowed them to dominate a miniature kingdom. Traditional archaeology dictates that their campfires went cold about 50,000 years ago. That timeline neatly aligns with the arrival of Homo sapiens, suggesting our ancestors may have displaced them. But if you visit the indigenous Leo and Nage people who live in these villages today, they tell a different story. Their tribal memories describe a creature they call the Ebu Gogo. Local folklore describes the Ebu Gogo with significant physical detail. They are remembered as wild, 3-foot-tall forest dwellers with pot bellies, broad faces, and an awkward waddling gait, anatomical details that align with the skeletal findings of LB1. The villagers report that these creatures communicated in a murmuring language and constantly raided the village perimeters to steal sweet potatoes and snatch raw meat. These are not ancient creation myths. Tribal accounts state these raids occurred as recently as the 18th century, ending only when villagers tracked the Ebu Gogo to a limestone cave and set it ablaze. This friction between 50,000-year-old volcanic ash and 300-year-old tribal memories forces a difficult question. Did the fossil record miss the final chapters of the Hobbit story? This brings us back to the inaccessible volcanic craters of the island's interior. This unlogged, viper-choked canopy remains a potential refuge for a relic population. Analysts are scrutinizing the 2026 drone footage for a specific marker, the waddling, bipedal gait described in tribal accounts, which differs from the island's native macaques. When fossil records, oral history, and modern sensors all point toward the same shadowed corners of the island, the possibility of a living relic population moves from the fringes into the center of anthropological debate. Today, this suffocating, silent green abyss continues to guard its secrets from a digital world obsessing over every pixel of footage. We carry a deep, primal loneliness, believing we are entirely alone on the planet. Flores offers a different perspective on that isolation. Think about the resilience required to rule an isolated miniature kingdom. They fought off giant dragons with sharpened rocks and roasted meat over campfires while volcanic ash rained down. The enduring mystery of Flores tells us the world is still vast and uncharted, and we are left with a spine-chilling thought. When we peer into the darkest shadows of the forest might be looking back.